Hey there, class. We are going to go through how to finish up these cups and put a handle on them. All right. So this one I already kind of finished up the top. All right. So instead of cutting that again, I'm going to just show you. Imagine that this is the top of your cup. It's a little uneven, and you want to clean up that top. Don't hold it like this and start sawing away. That's not how you're going to want to do this. I hold it like this. Your knife that you have is a little bit more like this one, so I'll use this one. And you're just going to hold it down low. Don't do this when it's really wet, because it'll just deform the top. These are not going to be perfect because they are hand built, so don't worry if they're a little uneven. So you're going to lose a little bit of height. You're going to lose a 1/4 inch or maybe a 1/2 inch if it's really uneven. All right, and you don't want that squared off blunt surface. So you're going to take that little green scrubby, get a little bit wet, and then just wrap it around the edge. Just round it off. That's maybe a little too much water. And then finish it up with your finger. So there's nothing wrong with it being a little wavy. I just think it should be rounded. And not sharp. Take your sponge tool. Clean up the top a little bit too if you want. Alright, so that's kind of how I arrived to this top here. And I think this one's just fine the way it is. Sometimes I'll even just flare it out a bit like that. Alright, so here's a quick little handle. And when we get into doing the slab cups in a while, our next 2 assignments away, I will show you some other methods of making handles. But this one is a quick one, all right? I like to roll out, if I'm making a handle, I don't really like this canvas texture. A piece of cardboard or stiff piece of paper, I find, is a little better, because that canvas can be a little distracting and a little annoying. So you're going to make a coil. You don't want these to be thick and heavy, because if you look at the thickness of that lip, you don't want this big, wide, heavy handle. So we're going to just roll this out. Now that's way too much clay. I'm going to take about half of that away. Put it aside. You may have to make more than one. You may have to make more than 2. Or you may have to make more than 4 to get the right handle. Sometimes it takes multiple tries. Okay, so there I have about a 1/2 inch thick coil. I'm going to roll it out a little thinner in the middle, so it's a little heavier on the ends, like that. Okay. And then I'm just going to take and flatten it out. So you don't want to be doing this on plastic or anything like that, because it'll just stick. That's why paper, cardboard, something like that. This is a file folder. And then I tap it like this to straighten out the sides. This is almost just fine. Don't use just a straight coil. I don't think they just look unfinished. So I kind of think there's a flat edge and a round edge. Just like that. That's a little long, that's good. You want to make them a little extra long. I'm going to choose to have this be the bottom. I just trim that down a little bit. I soften that cut edge with my thumb. And then right here, make another cut. Now you can have this round or this cardboard tube in your kit. If you take, it kind of has the same, doesn't have the same curvature as your cup maybe, but it is a curvature. So if you take and make a nice kind of tapered sort of, you know, I don't know, whatever, just a transition so it's not just blunt and square. And then I'm gonna slip and score, just like you do with everything else. And choose a place that makes sense on the cup. So I'm gonna just score that right about there. Score the handle. Score where you think it might, where you want it to connect. I think this might be a little on the long side. And you can always just trim it down. But maybe not. Maybe it looks pretty good. I don't think I like where that scored, so I'm going to put it right about here on the, right on that little ridge is where I'm going to put the connection. And I like to just leave those lines where it was connected. I don't think it's a bad thing. Sometimes I do this to give it to make a natural curve. Sometimes you have to dry them upside down like this. And that's what I'll do. I'll set it off to the side to dry. All right, that's it. There's your handle. Thank you.